From Miami Vice's Sonny Crockett to Nash Bridges, Django Unchained's Big Daddy, and one of my personal favorites, Eastbound and Down's Eduardo Sanchez, Don Johnson has been an American screen presence for 4 decades with some of film and TV's most iconic characters. Now he's back as Private Detective Jim Bob in director Jim Mickles' revenge noir starring Michael C. Hall and Sam Shepard.
We arrest a lot of people that don't belong in prison, but they're clients to the privatization of the prisons.
Absolutely low-level drug offenders.
That's absolutely right. Stupid. They should legalize every drug and tax it, and
even something like heroin. Are you for sort
absolutely.
of like safe injection spaces and
if
harm
you
reduction centers?
if you legalize and decriminalize drugs, you take the glamour out of it, and you take the gangs out of it, you take the drug dealers out of it, and you make it a less glamorous thing. Look at the perfect example would be prohibition. Yeah, there are going to be those that become alcoholics, but they'll get help. That's evidence of a deeper wound, a deeper pain that people need help with. Yeah, there are going to be those that get trapped in the perils of drugs and alcohol and so on and so forth. But what we can do is take the gangs and take the drug cartels and the massive amounts of money that's going out of our economy into other economies. And the most important thing is to de-glamorize it.
Right. How do we de-glamorize it?
By legalizing it.
Interesting. So, and by taking the traffickers out, taking the gangs out, we take the violence out, and we can focus on treatment rather than on police.
That's correct. And also, you free up the police force to do the things that they're supposed to do, which is protect and serve, not become SWAT units.
And be a part of the community rather than enforcers of the community.
That's right. I don't know how we got from cold in July to...
Well, I'm fascinated by this. I had no idea that you had these opinions about the drug war in this country.
No one ever asked me.
Well, I just said, and another thing that I'm curious about your opinions, I do feel like we are changing the drug war in this country. The Smarter Sentencing Act is coming up. Eric Holder is coming out and saying that he's going to start releasing people from prison. So we are changing, and we are also changing in
Well, the first thing we ought to do is change the name, drug war. Anytime you put those something on the end of to describe it by the very nature of calling it a drug war, you've made it into something that is framed as something that must be dominated. I don't think you need to dominate anything here. You need to understand it socially, and deal with it in an intelligent and logical and rational way.
Your daughter is actually taking a huge chance right now, a great opportunity with the 50 Shades of Grey film, right?
Yes, and let me help you out here. I haven't read it. I don't know anything about it. I can tell you this, that Dakota is a gifted actress. And this will be a blip in a long line of parts where she kills it. I mean, she is the authentic article, and I am exceedingly proud of her.
Is it a conscious choice on your part to just not read it, not because there's going to be controversial elements?
This isn't something that I would go out and buy and read anyway. Okay, this isn't on my bucket list, to make sure that I read the story of O in the '60s, so I think I'm up to speed.
Yeah, I don't think I've read it either, and I don't think I'm going to see it or read it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's I was telling someone last night. I said I've had some ladies walk up to me and go, "Oh, what do you think of your daughter in this movie?" And I've turned to them and I've said,
what does that say about me?
Well, no, what I've said to them is, you're speaking more about your repressed sexual desires than anybody else's. So,
I was attempting to speak for other women's repressed sexual
yes,
desires.
You
not
were.
Mine. Not
yes,
mine. Look,
you
not
were.
mine.
Yeah.
It wasn't her frustration over people's lack of awareness. It was her frustration over people's awareness and indifference.